This week's episode's more of a fucking therapy session for me. You could honestly just fucking mute me and then we'll talk next week. Proper. Proper. Hey guys, welcome back to Proper. I'm your host, Alexis, and happy Tuesday if you're listening on a Tuesday. I've tried to record this a few times and I don't know what TF is going on with the platform that I use, but it keeps saying that there's a fucking Wi-Fi issue. So I was just like, F it, let's just record and hope for the best because this platform uses the cloud and I'm really hoping it fucking works. It's giving me a downer right now and I'm trying to find an upper so that I can fucking get through today. It's already been, just to set the tone, it's a gloomy ass Sunday. If you're in New York, the Sunday that just passed, gloomy as fuck, as we know, which I am very appreciative of it because I definitely need a reason to stay inside. I do have an influencer event that I'm going to later, but I also have a work trip this coming weekend. And I'm like, and then I traveled last weekend. So I was like, I actually need a day, like at least a morning to not. Although I had big plans to go to the gym, blah, 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 but I didn't. I got me my motherfucking Biscoff latte from my favorite spot that I've been getting at lately. And I almost got a second one so that I could have it on our chat. But then there was a line and then I started to overthink it. And I was like, oh my God, what if they judge me? Like I just downed this in 2 fucking seconds and then I'm going to get in line for another. But in reality, it's like, bitch, you're spending money. They're not going to fucking judge you for getting another fucking latte. I think everybody needs another fucking latte. I'm always down for fucking 2 lattes. You hear me? Anyways, let's do what we always do, right? Let's dive into the proper lows, proper highs, proper recs, and then proper updates of the week. I would say this week, I'm going to be like answering some common questions that you guys are always asking me since you guys love to hear about me, you guys. I love how big you make my head. Please continue. Never think that I have enough confidence, okay? Never think that because I always need your reassurance. Real ones know about my reassurance kink. So, but yeah, I put a question box up and there was like some repeat questions and just like things I see you guys always asking. And since I'm not dating anyone right now, figured I could just talk about myself in a different light and try something new, right? Anyways, proper low of the week. I would say, so like, as a woman, we have one week where we're just off. Everything's just like doesn't matter because it's not us. And that is when we're bleeding a whole human being out of our bodies. And I just had that week. And so I was really hating myself. And I just like, I have this fucking narrative that everybody hates me. And part of it makes me feel like, am I autistic? Because it really happens when I'm around people for like multiple days at a time because I'm such a loner, right? Like I live alone, I'm single, I've been single my whole life. And again, I live alone. So like being alone is like my forte, if you will. So when I travel and like when I'm with people for so long, when I leave them, I feel like they hate me, like is what I convince myself. And I'm like, is that autism? Is it my period? Is it like, just insecurity of abandonment? And it could be a combination of it all. Because with that, I'm also, and we'll talk about it because you guys are asking me about my mental health. I've realized with this off week that the abandonment wounds have kind of deepened with like the death of everybody this fucking year. So I'm feeling like everybody is either going to walk out of my life voluntarily or they're going to die. But we'll talk about it. We'll get into that a little bit further. But yeah, I would say the low is how hard I am on myself and like walking through life thinking that the people you love hate you and like that paranoia is like really heavy to deal with. Like, especially when you give a fuck, which I would say you give a fuck. I think if you listen to proper, you give a fuck because being proper is fucking giving a fuck. And having paranoia and anxiety and depression and also, living alone and the seasons change. I don't know. I'm feeling fucking naked. I'm feeling overwhelmed with the negativity that I feel about myself. So, and with that, I don't want to knock that. I also at the same time feel really good about myself. Like I also feel really sexy and like just like, pretty solid about like the love that I give and blah blah blah. Like, and I just say that because we can be dual. You know what I mean? Like we can feel both things, and that's something that has taken me a while to really grasp. And now I think it's a big reason why I feel like I can self-regulate a lot of my emotions as somebody who has diagnosed anxiety and depression and who chooses not to medicate. And it's through that realization of like I could feel all of these things and I could choose where I want to focus that feeling. And sometimes I don't have that control, you know, because there is an imbalance, but sometimes at least the awareness gets me by. You know what I mean? So that's the fucking PL of the week. What about you? Tap in. Did you know that you can comment on Spotify now? Hello. So talk to me. You could also send this on Spotify. Spotify has messages now. It's another realization. So send this to your friends, send this back to me. I'm also thank you Lex on Spotify if you wanted to see my playlist too. Cuz I have had a question before of like, "Oh, where are your playlists? Like you have such good music choice." I know. I'm going to become a DJ, don't you worry about it. But for now, my Spotify playlists are public. The ones that I want to be public anyway. But yeah, we can comment. So comment your PL this week. I would love to hear it. Or you can do it on Instagram. You could message us. You could do it on YouTube. You could comment publicly on YouTube. Talk to us, please. Us, everyone here in this room. Anyways, PH of the week is I finally had a paid deal, T God, with American Eagle. And real ones know this is not my first time working with them because I got to work with them on a 3-month contract last year. And it's funny because one of the questions that somebody asked on the thing was like, "Oh, can you talk about all of your recent collabs?" There's no all. This is the slowest year ever. And this is like the most my analytics have gone up. I've only had this American Eagle deal and that Dove deal. That's all I've had this year. I don't know if you are aware of that. Everything else is gifting. And that's why it doesn't say paid partnership, which has been super fucking unfortunate. And I'm very grateful for those deals. Like everybody wants to get, for me personally, and I think it's because although my analytics are still higher, like my peers who have, you know, those 6-figure follower counts, like, because I'm still at what I think like 25, 26K on Instagram and like 40 something on TikTok. The people who have like 100K plus on Instagram honestly have lower engagement than me, but they are getting more paid partnerships. So I don't know what the T is. I'm gonna just continue staying true to me, and the brands who align with that will align with being proper, and the brands who don't align with it will continue down the lane of being improper. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with it, but I'm very proud of the deal that I just got with American Eagle. It was a super quick turn and I made the content really quick. I turned that around and like literally like I got the product on Tuesday, recorded on my day off Wednesday, and then I flew out Thursday morning. Yeah, so I within 24 hours I recorded, edited it, and delivered it. So proud of myself for that. I know people are having like a tiff about American Eagle. I'm like trying to be more stern on my thoughts about cancel culture. I think it's unnecessary, especially as somebody who like is pursuing comedy as well. Not saying that American Eagle did anything funny and not agreeing with that ad. I think that ad was very tone deaf. I feel like they did a lack of listening to other people on their team. I'm sure there's no way that they didn't see that as like there was some not somebody in that room seeing that as wrong, but as somebody who has now been in like influencer marketing and like that whole agency aspect, I don't know, all of that. I've been that person in a room where nobody wants to listen to them. So I could see mistakes like that happening. And again, that's a bigger issue in itself, Rada Rada. American Eagle in particular is also a brand that has like made ads that made me believe in myself. Like one being, and I bring this up often, but I think it was 2008 or 2009 they did untouched images as like big ads in the mall. And remember the mall was like everything. It was like when I worked at the mall. Like I used to work at Chick-fil-A in high school, and seeing bitches with like stretch marks and cellulite on big ass ads like in the mall was like, oh my god, I could do this. You know, like they gave an American Eagle ad gave me that confidence. So again, not justifying them, but their products are also very inclusive. Like if they lacked in other departments, because I'm all about cancel. I'll cancel things that I truly believe that need to be canceled. 100%. But blaming an entire brand for one ad that that is beyond me is, you know, you finna take that bag too. I don't have to, I'm not over explaining myself. I just feel like cancel culture isn't fucking talked about enough on like why that needs to be canceled. Like cancel culture needs to be canceled. Again, always about holding people accountable, but canceling when it's really good product, I don't know. It's not for me, babes. But that could change. You know, if somebody educated me and like wanted to give me insight on why a brand should be canceled that I say that I'm advocating for, feel free to let me know. I'm always about getting educated by you. But yeah, anyways, I don't know how we got so serious. I know how we got serious. It's the last day of my fucking period, so things are still fucking serious right now. But whatever, I'm showing up as I am because that's what we do at Proper. We show up as we are, and it's okay. It's okay, Alexis. It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, that was my proper high, getting a fucking paid deal. Praise be, because Lord knows I needed it. I work like a dog day and night. I think that's another thing that people do not realize. I have a full-time job. My full-time, I'm going to run it down real quick. My full-time job is a campaign manager in influencer marketing as well. So like I literally do influencer campaigns for big household brands. And I'm seeing contracts being written, like I'm writing these contracts for these influencers that this agency that I work for is paying for 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand for 2 reels. And that comparison that I see on a day-to-day basis that I have access to is deteriorating. I'm not going to lie. It's deteriorating. But then there's that other side. Because remember, I think the commonality here of realization is the duality in life and the duality in feelings. And the duality of perspective. And I also can change that perspective of comparison into admiration and think like, oh, this is attainable. You know, like I can do this. You know, like when I'm sending product to a creator that I'm paying when I'm a creator myself. When I say I'm paying, I'm talking about the agency. When I'm a creator myself and seeing that like they live in a penthouse, you don't think I'm like, why the fuck is that not me? Like, why the fuck am I not getting paid fucking 50 grand? Why the fuck am I begging people to listen to this to listen to this goddamn podcast? You know, or just like, I don't know. And I'm always going to advocate for myself. You know, like I believe in myself wholeheartedly. You have to when you're pursuing something like this. You have to believe in yourself more than anybody else. And you can't wait for somebody to believe in you the way you believe in you. However, there's those moments where I'm like, is this even fucking attainable? Can I do this? And not saying like I have bigger, not saying it's not a big goal to be an influencer. It is. But being within influencing is more of a stepping stone for like where I want my skills to go. And, you know, Proper being one of those things. I would say Proper is like my main baby that I'm pursuing. But with that, I believe in influencing and I believe in branding yourself. And so yeah, like I get a lot of access to comparison, but then I also have like the thought of how I know it's attainable because like there are some of you that really believe in me and really like you guys message me and it's so heartwarming. Like this message I got today and I'm feeling so emo, so I legit cried. But she said, because I'm also having a hard day with my grief. So we'll talk about it a little bit too. So I posted all my stories on how I miss my girls, Kylie and Nala. This girl goes, your podcasts are helping me get through my separation. She like lost a dog too. Thank you for being born. And like that just like made me cry a little bit. And then so sweet. Like, thank you for being born. Oh my God. I think that's so nice. And I really needed that. And I get messages like that like pretty often. I'm not gonna hold you, which is nice. And I'm grateful for it. And I know this is like just the beginning, and I know my voice is gonna be heard in a lot of different rooms in a lot of different places, and that's my goal. And even if it doesn't feel like it's in a lot of places right now, there's definitely moments where you guys make me feel like it is. So I'm grateful for that. And you guys are part of my PH as well. PH is up. PH is up. You hear me? I feel like I should take a hitter. Have I shown you my bong? I love this little thing. It's more of just like a little like, what do they call it? I mean, bongs are called water pipes, right? But it's like, it was, I think it was more featured as like a bowl. Oh my God, we have to reach out to them. Have we? I don't know. We have to TB. But this brand NWTN, I'll make this a fucking wreck this week. I love this. This was like $50, I think. It hits really good and it's like a single little hitter and it hits like it's like an in between a bong and a bowl. So it hits like a little stronger than a bowl. And I haven't had a bong in a while because I always fucking break my bongs. And then I remembered, I was like, Lex, why don't you get a bong? Because sometimes I'd be tired, like smoking my King Palms. You know, I'm heavy on my King Palms. And then I started getting pre rolls. And then I don't really like pre rolls because I don't trust what they be putting in that, even when they say that it's only bud in there. So yeah, anyways, let me take a hit. Hold on. Anyways, that's my fucking proper rec this week. Get buying yourself something nice. Anything. Just buy yourself something nice. Another proper rec that I have this week is, obviously it's a recommendation. That's what the fucking rec is, Alexis. But I'm reading at night rather than, I normally like put on one of my repeat shows like Sex and the City, Younger, one of my girly shows, to go to sleep. But I started to read because it makes me fall asleep quicker, and I'm trying to like take my eyes off of digital things, although I am reading off of my Kindle now that I think about it. But whatever. It's better on the brain. I don't care. And then I could see at night, because I don't need a light with the Kindle. But I'm really liking it because I'm trying to build healthier habits, especially as we enter the new season. If you are in the northeast, you know how tough it is transferring to the season. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, like I'm fucking nervous, like for my mental health. For sure. Just because I had a really, tough year last year with like my finances and, going through, my eviction thing. I didn't actually get evicted, if you're curious, like if you're new, if this is your first fucking episode. However, I was going broke and I had to fight an eviction case like a week after I lost Nala, and I had to self-represent myself because I couldn't afford a lawyer and they couldn't grant me one, like the city couldn't, the way they normally do. So it was a whole thing, but I want it. I want it. But the stress that I endured of, getting evicted every day. And then I also found out about Nala's like cancer. Last year was really tough. And then I lost Nala at the beginning of the year. And then, summer was approaching. I was like, let me go to Tampa to like reset. And then my best friend of 25 years died. Now with, getting back into winter again, fall to winter, I'm just like, can I handle this? And I know I can because I've handled everything that I just fucking said, which is crazy. But the weather, like, really just can fuck me up. And, like, obviously the city can feel even lonelier. So I'm really hoping that I find the means to, like, travel in the winter and, like, maybe work remotely. Because, again, I have a fucking full-time job. Thankfully, it's remote and I'm grateful for it. But maybe work remotely, like, somewhere south of the equator. How did I get on this topic? Oh my God, how did I get here? I was talking about building healthy habits because of winter. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, this is your reminder to prep for this transition of summer to fall for my northeastern baddies because it's tough. It's tough, especially if you already have an imbalance, speaking for myself. And as somebody who used to like I come from the South where seasons aren't really a thing, seasonal depression is fucking real. Okay. And I think I honestly did endure it even in the South. But now being in the Northeast, it's like the weather controls my mood. The climate obviously controls our mood as well. Duh. But it was just like I never took sunshine for granted. Or maybe I did. And now I'm like, it's this anxiety, this new like form of anxiety of like, fuck, it's like we're about to have much shorter days. It's gonna be like I'm gonna have to wear so many layers of clothes. I'm gonna change complexions again. Do you see my tan? I'm literally the color of this white tank top. Like that's where my tan line was. Mind you, I used to be this shade all the time in Florida. And then I moved up north. Anyways, just a friendly reminder to fucking prep for yourself. Proper updates of the week. Do I have any? I don't think I do. I'm not talking to nobody. Did I tell you guys that I went on a date before I went to Barbados? I don't even think I told y'all because because I only build characters off of the men that like, I feel like are going to come around. Like it takes a little minute. Or if it's like the actor, I obviously knew by the second date that it wasn't going to go around, but that was a story in itself. But yeah, no, I went on this date and nothing really came from it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if like the thing is that I'm the same person on the internet and off the internet, but I think if you already have an idea of me, even by seeing me on the internet, you like portray me as something else. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But nothing came from it. Anyways, so no PUs of the week. Besides, like, ass is fat, waist is skinny, hair is gorgeous, tan is on point. I got nobody's son or daughter stressing me. Life is great. You know what I mean? I even went out on Friday and this guy was like he had saw me and like we were like close to each other while I was waiting for my homegirl to get something at the bar. And I don't know, dude. I don't know if I'm just anti men or if I'm just like gayer when I'm on my period. But like, I feel like I would normally think he was cute, but I was looking at him like, you are so ugly. And like, I don't know what was happening. I'm like, am I high or are you just ugly? Get out of my face. And I hate when a dude like, I feel like when people drink, they like start to spit. Not everybody, but like random people. I just don't like when people like spray with their words when it's our first time talking. Like obviously it's a friend, like if it's a friend, whatever. Like we make mistakes. That's happened to me all the time. Like whatever. Like I can produce a lot of saliva too when I'm speaking. But if it's our first encounter and you're spitting on me and I'm like trying to clean my fucking glasses, ew, like get on my face. So I don't know. Also was like, why is nobody approaching me? Am I ugly? Because I didn't even get approached that night. Oh my God, was I the ugly girl in the room? Maybe. There's no way. No, because then a gay man came up to me and he was like, I just have to tell you, your outfit is so good. Like, you look so good. Like, are you guys Latino? Y'all look so good. And I was like, everything you're saying is gassing me. Thank you so much. I love you. And you guys know I'm lacking a gay in my life because our ex was that. So I don't have a gay, definitely in search of one, gay man in particular, when I say a gay. I need somebody to hold me accountable. Like, I need a diva holding me accountable, you know? So that's that. Let's dive into fucking everyday questions that you guys are constantly asking me. That's a reach. Actually, no. You guys do ask me repeat questions quite often. I'm like humble about it, but like DMs are filled and I love it here. I truly do. So hopefully I get to your question. If I don't, feel free to comment it on fucking Spotify and let me know. Next. Okay. We're just going to run through some questions. We're going to do like, I'm going to interview myself essentially. How's yeah. So, okay, I'm going to interview myself. So I'm going to like keep it as a conversation and like, I'm going to just bring the questions in organically. So you guys know I've been on my gym journey and it may appear that my ass is getting fatter. Maybe it's because of my gym journey. Part of it is in regards to how round it's getting, 100%. But I also think since I think we go through like spurts and like my hips keep getting wider and then like with also eating a little bit like healthy. Like it's not like I'm stopping myself from eating anything, but I'm trying to be more conscious of like having more protein, having less carbs, whatever. I think that plus lifting because I am lifting when I go to the gym, plus the growth spurt of like becoming a woman, like I'm a full-on woman now. Like I'm not a little girl. Like at 29, I was a little girl. Now that I'm 30, I'm a woman. So I think a combination of that. I don't have a secret to getting my ass fat. It is definitely genetics. Cause like I truly have that thing on me. Sometimes I like forget about it and then I'm reminded. I think I'm always reminded in the summer, like during bikini season, when I see these videos that my friends take of me in bathing suits and I'm like, wow, I would stare at me too. Like I can't even be mad. I was thinking that today too. I was like, damn, I need to stop being mad at the men who like stare at me OD while I walk because I can't imagine a life where people aren't staring at me because I'm so pretty and amazing. You know what I mean? Where people can't even like hold themselves from talking to me. Like literally, if I'm walking outside, and maybe it's just a New York thing, I don't know. But if I'm walking outside, men are like, God damn. Like I'll get at least one of those. Or like, que Dios te bendiga. You know, like God bless you. Don't let nobody make you mad today. Like I love these, like I can't imagine a life where I wasn't getting that on a daily, even on my worst day, you know? So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the life of being a baddie and developing into a baddie with my aging. Shout out to God for that. Because if I was like pretty when I wanted to be in middle school and high school, I wouldn't be as pretty as I am now, 100%. Anybody who glued up in middle school and high school is ugly now and also probably has kids. No offense. No offense. That's really fucked up for me to say. I think we all know it though, right? Maybe I should take that out. I don't know. I'm like, am I being a cunt? Oh my God, I am. I am. I take it back. I take it back. You know what? I take it back. I'm being a hater because Kylie Jenner, she has always been gorgeous and gorgeous. Even when she was bald with the fucking chemo, the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen. Like that bitch had a fucking face on her our whole lives. Even body has always been T our whole lives. Even when she gained weight, lost weight, whatever. So I take that back. If you was born pretty, you probably still pretty. But like, you know, the cool girls, like the bitches that were cool in middle school are likely not cool now. Whatever. That's besides the point. Anyways, shout out to all. Shout out to having pretty privilege. Is what the fuck I'm saying. But no secrets on body being T. Besides like the Rex I already give you, which isn't much. There's definitely more that I could do. If I had the money and time, like I would be getting lymphatic drainage massages, probably like at least monthly. I would be doing all the things, but we're not there yet. Soon to be. Just wait on it. So, like I said, with that, going to the gym, that is something that's helping my mental health. And I think looking good also helps your mental health as well. But moving your body without the intention of anything is really good for your mental. And for me, lifting in particular is connecting me back to like a younger version of myself because I used to lift like with my brother and stuff when I did work out because I've been working out for quite some time, but then I completely stopped lifting in particular too. But lifting also makes me feel strong, like physically strong, and I've endured like a pretty tough life already. So I've always like found myself to be mentally strong most times, like when I'm at my best, when I think of myself at my best. But being physically strong, just like that, it's giving me that mind body connection. And now that I talk about it out loud, I actually have not connected that until now in this moment. But yeah, like feeling physically strong and connecting that to my mental strength is like enlightening. I like it a lot. And it's one thing that's keeping me sane, but it's also something that like I can easily obsess over, especially with the amount that I pay for this gym membership, which I want to continue maintaining because I really do enjoy having access to this luxury that I have. But then I also put a lot of pressure on myself of like going every single day, and I just don't have the time because it's also like I have to get on the train, but like I have to commuting alone to the gym there and back to the closest one is at least an hour. To my favorite one, an hour there and back. To my favorite one, 45 minutes each way. And like, yeah, but we'll get there. But besides that, my mental health has been like, I've been in such an avoidant headspace with my grief. And like last night and this morning was like a heavier like aware and being aware of my reality essentially, which is the opposite of avoidance, right? Because I've been so avoidant that when I do realize like Kylie's dead, Nala's dead, I'm like, what do you mean? Specifically with Kylie, like it's just like what? Like that it does not make sense to me. And I'm never going to be able to make sense of it. And that's something that I have to really fucking separate from. And I think that's the thing with grief is realizing it's as simple as it's love with no place to go, and it's not something you need to figure out. Trying to figure out grief and trying to figure out why somebody died is very heavy for a human being, along with all of the other things that are happening in this world that we're all experiencing with the current climate. And it's just like sometimes I could, like last night, I was like, why am I here? Why am I here and she's not? Why is that fair? You know, why do I get the privilege of being in this life? But is it a privilege? I don't know. But being in that headspace and that thought and like weaving in and out of these questions is heavy to do alone. And if you do live alone and you're experiencing something similar, it's really hard to fucking get out of it solo. You know, like you don't have somebody like getting you out of your head and seeing that you're in it. I could go days without seeing somebody. I could go days and weeks without getting a hug from somebody. And as human beings, like we need that. And I think with grieving, you need it more because you have so much love that you literally have no place to put it because where you used to put it is gone. Like the amount of love that Nala got my everyday love. Like Nala got my everyday love and Kylie got like love for 25 years. You know, like a very strong love the two of them had. You know that's an extension of me that what I'm connected to. And so with not having that physically on this earth anymore, it's like, what do I do? And that's with, you know, pouring back into yourself and finding other places to put the love. But there's that slippery slope of like loneliness and feeling like you're not enough and feeling like, because then you can get in a headspace of thinking of all the times you've tried to give love and it didn't work out. Like for me specifically thinking about relationships and how, I haven't had a partner, like I haven't had somebody who actually wants to receive my love in regards to like relationships, friendships. Obviously my friends love me, but with men, when I'm in these headspaces, I get insecure about like my love not being enough. When in reality, I have so much, and it's beautiful. But I think also with grief, you and nod if you relate, thumbs up if you relate. But it's like there's so many layers of thoughts, and then there's also that layer of like feeling really sorry for yourself. Like me thinking about how Nala was the being that got love from me every single day for 12 years in my like being in my home, and nobody has experienced that besides Nala. Or like Kylie, knowing me for 25 years and nobody has experienced that from me. You just like start to feel it, like I start to feel bad for myself, and knowing how much love that I have and I literally don't know where to put it. Fuck, a diamond came off of my fucking nail. Fuck me. That's a reason to cry. Don't piss me off. Anyways, enough of that. Tired of fucking talking about it. I'm not tired of talking about it. I can talk about it whenever, but I am tired of being like sad. Like I've been crying a little too long, but it's fine. It's meant to happen. My birthday is significant with my grief too because I got Nala on my birthday when I was turning 18. So from 17 to 18, I got her on August 31st, 2013. And I got her specifically because Kylie and I were at our biggest breakup that we've had like in our whole friendship. That lasted about like 3 to 4 years. But I got Nala with the loss of like Kylie, like the mental loss of Kylie. And so being that I lost them both to Kylie's still questionable. I don't think it was to cancer, but I don't feel like talking about that with you right now. But Kylie did have cancer, Nala had cancer. They were both diagnosed in the same year as well. And then them both dying the same time as well. And this being my first birthday without either of them is like, it's just significant. So it makes sense why I'm feeling this way. Whatever. Anyways, another thing that I'm doing to connect back to myself is, like I've told you before, traveling or attempting to travel. And I've really been trying to get back in the mix this summer. And I think I've like gotten it. I've definitely like revamped my interest in travel because real ones know I started traveling like in college and I was like big on traveling, which I feel pretty cool about because I found those means myself and I made it happen because I didn't have the privilege of traveling with my family at all. So when I went to college, I would use my loan money, like I stayed home, used my loan money to travel. So I've done different things, and have had the privilege of going to multiple countries before I turned 25. But then that stopped when I moved to New York. So gaining that back now, with the wisdom that I have and the time that I've had is something exciting and I'm excited for it. It's just, again, it's such a luxury and it costs so much money. So I'm trying to like battle in between like, I don't want to think like, oh, you don't have enough money, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah. But then also like, I don't want to overwork myself because I feel like working hard grants money and I don't know, just in a whole thing. Bear with me as I go through these fucking conversations in my head. This week's episode is more of a fucking therapy session for me. You could honestly just fucking mute me and then we'll talk next week. I don't know. I don't have many laughs for you. I apologize. This is just a real ass bitch give a fuck about a episode. Oh. Anyways, but traveling. So with traveling, one of the questions was, how do I find weed when we go out of the country? She specifically said, finding weed in other countries, bro, because I don't know how y'all are doing it. I've been doing this since I was 19. I can't remember the first country. No, it was. I think it was Iceland. Yeah. So I studied abroad in Florence, Italy. But before that, I backpacked through Iceland, Scotland, and Amsterdam. Iceland was the first stop. I smoked with locals there. Like, I think like when you're a weed smoker, I don't know. I'm also like very much like I've never had regard to like speak in public. So like I'm always like, oh, what you smoking? Like, how'd you get that? Can I get some? Like, like closed mouths don't get fed, girl. So I think that that was like my first encounter. And then obviously Amsterdam, it was legal. And then in Italy, you kind of just like you figure out who smokes, and then you're like, hey, how could you get bud? Did you get bud? And like just not being afraid of asking the questions. I'm also pretty tough too. Like I'm not about to get some fake shit. So like I'll look at them like, or like if they trying to like jip me for a price, like I'm quick to negotiate. Like you're not finna fuck on me, little boy. I'm quite masculine when it comes to stuff like that. um but yeah, you kind of just ask. So like Barbados, that's my most recent trip. I asked the taxi driver because he kind of mentioned it. He was like, oh, he was talking about like the fish market that I went to on Friday. I told you guys about. Did I tell you? I don't know. I think somebody actually did ask for a Barbados I-10. Let me know if you actually want that in a podcast episode because I could do that. But the full I-10 is as a highlight on my Instagram at Thank You Lex. But anyway, he said something about like, oh, you could drink, smoke. And I was like, oh, smoke weed. And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, can you get me some? And he was like, yeah, I got you. That's it. You just gotta ask. There hasn't been one spot besides like Cuba, obviously, I haven't been able to get it. Cuba, and it was at the time it was difficult when I did it when I tried getting it in Lima, Peru. But I was younger then too. I think I was a little fearful. So yeah, but I found it in Costa Rica, found it in Tulum. I'm like, I've literally found it everywhere. Did I find it in Spain? I don't think I looked for it in Spain because I had my pen. Because I also take my pen everywhere. No, I don't. I don't do that. Anyway, regardless, one thing about me, I'm finna find bud. I'm finna find it. Every country has it, besides the one under dictatorship. And I have no plans of going back to Cuba anytime soon or any other country under dictatorship. Anyways, somebody on here said everything from sitting on faces to dating interracially. I'm saying it right. Fall fashion. I feel like that's all I talk about on Proper. I feel like there's 75 fucking episodes about it. What? I'm not sitting on enough faces, which I've said multiple times. So fucking tap in, tune in, turn on to the fucking 75 episodes before this. Is it possible to care deeply for someone but also be afraid of loving them? Yeah, I think anything's possible. I think there's layers to it, which is something that I always lead with. But I think caring deeply for somebody and then being afraid of loving them could be like, are you afraid of loving them because of your abandonment, because of their actions, because what they've shown you to be, of who they are to be, but you have a different idea of them because you actually love an idea of them and not actually them. Like, there's so many different scenarios. Not my laptop dying now. We're at 10%. We gotta fucking wrap this up, guys. I've actually been speaking for way too long anyway, so this is for the best. The not so fun parts of being an influencer. I would say, like what I talked about at the beginning, and I could talk about this further when my fucking laptop's not dying, but when you're still like I'm aspiring still in a way. Like the lack of consistency with the finances is difficult. I think a lot of people also have like the support of their partner, so they're able to pursue it, or they live at home or like whatever, but doing it alone, living in a city where I don't have family, and like if I can't pay my rent, I can't live here, is tough, which is why I had to get back into corporate and why I have a full-time job that I dedicate 60 hours a week to at least. But yeah, I would say that, and like the people too, but I think that's everywhere. Like I think in any industry, no matter what type of work you do, there's always going to be like those people that are like, I can't trust you. And I feel that, or like judgment. But I've also met really dope people with being an influencer, so I'm super grateful for it. But yeah, I actually love it here. I think I'm like destined to like do this. I feel like I've always been like an influencer in my circle in a way. So like even with struggling through it, I still want to pursue it, and that tells me that I want to do it. Because like when I was pursuing Comoda Clothing, my clothing brand, when I was struggling through it, I didn't want to do it, and that's why I moved away from it. And it wasn't about having a clothing brand because that's something that I still aspire to get to again, but the hardship of it was just like it wasn't coming from passion, it was coming from lack. But I would say like what I pursue with influencing and proper comes from passion because I truly do love everything that comes with it. Even if like I get mad hate comments or whatever, like I can still easily think about the beauty of the community that I'm building and like how strong we are and how connected we are. Like I really fuck with my bitches. So, and even the dudes, because there's like I have like a pretty big like straight man fan base. So shout out to my fucking proper bappies because Hi, which makes sense. Like, I'm pretty masculine and you guys are gay. So, anyways, that's all I really fucking got for you this week. I really hope while I fucking edit this episode that I still like it. If not, I may have to throw it out and give you a new one. Depends on how negative I feel that I'm like portraying to be. I don't know. Don't define me. Don't read into me. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. Anyways, let me fucking wrap this up before I continue overthinking it and want to fucking throw my fucking laptop over the fucking thing. I love you so much. Thank you for staying until the end. And next week is my happy, horny, healthy week. So I will be bringing the vibes and I'm very excited for then. For now, enjoy your week and I love you so much. Bye.